Welcome to Behind the Doors, the podcast where we take you behind the scenes of residential real estate investing. I'm your host, Dan Noma Jr., here with my co-host, Marvin Cruz.
We're here to help you unlock the best strategies and practice for investors. Whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned pro looking to scale your portfolio.
We've spent decades navigating the ever-changing world of real estate, and now we're sharing everything we've learned to help you succeed.
From off-market deals to cash flow management and everything in between, we'll break it down and bring you actionable insights that can make a real difference in your investments.
So get ready to open the door to new opportunities and take your real estate investing to the next level. Let's dive in.
Real estate agents, are you ignoring one of the biggest untapped sources of leads? So today, I'm going to touch base with Dan here as we always do and pick his brain. But ultimately, we're going to dive into the rental market and how this could help fill real estate agents' pipeline from an investor standpoint, seller, and by the way, future buyers. So Dan, why is the rental market a gold mine for real estate agents?
Way untapped, right? Like so many real estate agents are focused on listings and working with buyers. Like those are the only two things that I hear.
Right.
And then they never, like even if they get a lead for a rental, it's almost like, oh, I got to go like show rental properties. And I get it. Like it seems daunting to go do the same work that you would on a sale.
Right.
To earn only like a fraction of what you would earn on a sale versus a rental property. Like I get it from that perspective for sure. But if you're building a business and you're building a foundation, like that network is super valuable. One is like, just think about that customer, right? Like if you're working rental leads, that person that's going to be a potential tenant is going to also be a potential buyer in the future.
Eventually, right?
Like you could build an entire business just working with tenants, turning them into homeowners, right? Like if that was your strategy and you had like, maybe you did some like classes and you did some, community events and brought in lenders to help them, entitle people and all of these people that could help, turn this person into a homeowner,
right?
And put them on a path of that. If that's their goal and that was your thesis, you're like building the foundation really cheap. Like you're doing it without a lot of expense, and you could probably do it in part of your time, right? It's not like you need to do it full time to do that. So I think that's like a huge untapped opportunity for real estate agents is to work with tenants, turning them into homeowners.
Yeah. I love what you're saying because I'm thinking like it's a long-term play.
Yeah,
right?
It's got to be. It's a business, right?
Exactly.
Like,
Build relationships early.
Yeah.
Eventually they're going to buy.
Right.
And you're basically setting yourself up for future sales.
Right.
By the way, 35% of homes are being rented today.
I know.
So it's a huge market, right?
Yeah. But think about who you meet along that journey, right? Like, so then you're now, you're working with these people and you're working with a landlord or you're working with a property manager, you're working with, right? So those are probably the two main things that you would be working with. Like now you can build relationships with that property management company.
Yeah.
Like, so who does the property management company call when one of their owners has a property to sell?
Yeah.
They make referrals. Like that's what they do.
Good point.
So build the relationship with your property management companies, and be the one where they're like top of mind, man, this guy's got to sell a property. I'm going to call Marvin. He'll service my client the best.
That's awesome.
He's going to be awesome at that. And then the investor, right? Like that's the best one. Like if you can do a deal direct to an investor, what else do you own?
Yeah.
What else are you interested in buying, Mr. and Mrs. Investor?
Yeah.
How can I help you? Like I know I brought you this great tenant, but what else can we do together?
Yeah.
Like how else can I help you serve? And the guy may go, I'm actually looking for another rental property, or I'm looking for my next flip opportunity. Can you help me find that?
Yeah.
And that's where you start to like build a network and you can just expand. So like I'm in these like online Facebook groups, agent groups and whatever. And like, I don't comment a lot. I just kind of watch and see what they say. And it's often that I see somebody say, I've got a rental lead. Does anybody work rental leads? And then it's always like crickets on there. And I'm like, man, if I was going to do it over, I would snatch that darn
Start
thing.
there.
I'd be all over that thing.
That's awesome. Other than property managers, where else could we find leads for rental market?
I think that there are leads everywhere, really. I mean, you could find them on, there's like Craigslist postings, anywhere Zillow, right? You can Zillow rental listings, like all of those areas, anywhere you could see a rental listing, the owner of that property is an investor,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
That leads to that conversation. So lead with a giving hand, bring them a great tenant, right? Load that tenant in. That your tenant's your future buyer. So you've got a great relationship with them. And then service the investor by saying, hey, I'm a hustler. I've got opportunities. How can I help
That
you
is awesome.
find some additional deals? Like you can make a lot of money just work in the rental market. There's so many places that you see these rental ads posted and like they're everywhere. It's
Wow.
like for rent by owner and all of them. Like it's constant, and there's just a huge opportunity there for a lot of real estate agents, totally underlooked. Like, and that's I was scrappy when I was an agent. Like I worked all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like I did not care. And so I was all over that.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't hear this pro tip, when you list a rental property, right, you're helping a client find a property,
Yeah.
contact that owner as well,
Yeah.
because they just might be in the market to buy another one.
Right.
So you're double dipping off the same address,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
That is awesome. What are the benefits of working the rental market? Obviously, you always talk about agents diversifying,
Yeah.
becoming investors themselves,
Right.
but this is another way to diversify as well, working this rental market as well. Would you agree?
Yeah, totally. I mean, you're going to build some long-term relationships, right? You're going to meet those tenants that are going to turn into potential buyers in the future. You're going to have great conversations with property managers that could be referral sources for you. You're going to meet investors who could be potential clients for you, buyers and sellers on the other side of things. So you're going to get a ton of just long-term client relationships going through that process. I think the other thing is like the market knowledge, right? Like I think like the real estate investors just have the beat on the market. Like they do. They're in it so deep. They're in it so often.
Yeah.
Like the professional ones are in it so much that you're gonna get a better pulse on the market. You're gonna get a better read on what's going on. Like the guy that buys his home once every 5 years, I mean,
Right.
I'm not saying they're not smart. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying like the investors this is what they do professionally. They're in it every day. Like they've got a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, and it's early signals. By the time you see something on a graph or a chart, it's 30 days past.
Yeah.
Right. Like I want to know what's going on now.
Yeah,
Like what's changing today? How does it feel in the market right now? And I think you're going to get a lot of that just by, keying in on like, so with like a property manager, let's say, for example, like they are noticing that they're not getting as many rental applications. I want to know that now. Like, I don't want to see that in the newspaper later. Like that's a good signal in the market to go, I wonder if the rental market's softening a little bit. Like maybe we should think about like reducing rates or finding different, tenant opportunities like that. Those signals that's where you hear that stuff is like, it's in the streets. You gotta be in that market to hear it.
No, I love that. And by the way, when you're helping someone buy a home, it may fall out for other reasons.
Yeah.
And now you know exactly whether the homes are for rent.
Right.
And so it's just a constant repeat of business. And so I think what I hear you saying is the secret sauce and the secret weapon is position yourself as the go-to agent for any situation.
Right.
And by the way, landlord, investors, and renters, they all know people.
Yeah. You're not wasting your time by hustling around the rental market.
That's right.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Behind the Doors. We hope you found today's insights valuable for your real estate investing journey.
Remember, real estate success doesn't happen overnight, but with the right tools and strategies, you can build long-term wealth and create passive income.
If you enjoyed the show, be sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with others who are passionate about real estate investing.
Don't forget to follow us on social media for more tips and exclusive content.
Until next time, keep unlocking new opportunities, and we'll see you on the next episode of Behind the Doors.